Hello students, this is Sir Shankar. Today again we will continue the same chapter 2 of class 7 English. So in the last class we stopped where like when they were to the backyard, they heard a weird sound when Lali, she was playing a violin uh, from the music master. And then what happened, Mridu, she crept up to the window, and Lali was sitting a little distance away, awkwardly holding her violin and bowstrings. So she was holding that violin very awkwardly, not in a correct position, and her elbows jutting out and her eyes glazed with concentration. In front of her, with most of his back to the window, was the bony figure of the music master, and in front of her, who was sitting, uh, a bony figure, very lean and thin, music master was there. He was sitting in front of her, where he was wearing a very old-fashioned tuft and a gold chain which was gleamed around his leathery neck, and a diamond ring it glittered on his hand. And as it glided up and down the stem of the violin, all of this she can see from the window. A large foot stuck out from beneath his gold bordered vesty edge, and he was beating time on the floor with the scrawny big toe. On the with the help of that scrawny, very thin, no, big toe, he was beating the ground like when he play the violin, and to get that tone, to get that totally involved in the music, totally to go deep in the music. The musicians, they usually do some expressions. So just like that, he was beating with the help of his scrawny big toe on the floor, and he played a few notes, and Lali stumbled behind him on her violin, which looked quite helpless and unhappy in her hands. And Lali, she was trying to play the violin, but she can't. Okay, she is not learning. What a difference! The music master's notes seemed to float up and settle perfectly into the invisible tracks of the melody. It was like the wheels of a train fitting smoothly into the rails and whistling along. As Ravi said, Mridu stared at that huge bearing hand moving effortlessly up the violin stems, making lovely music. So the music master, he was playing the violin so sweet, and play the violin beautifully. On the other hand, the um, Lali, she was not. So squack! There was Lali derailing again. Again Lali derailing. She is going off the track. Amma came a wail from the gate. Amma, someone's calling, no, from the gate, saying Amma. So Rabi, send the beggar away, cried his mother from the back veranda. So in the veranda, the mothers were sitting there, and mother, she said to Ravi that just send the beggar out of the house. No, no, don't let him enter. So he has been coming here every day for the past week, and it is time he found another house to beg from, Pati explained to Tapi. So Pati, she was explaining, saying to Tapi that the beggar, he has been coming the house for the past weeks. So now for him the time has come that he should find a new house. So she, Pati said this to Tapi. The beggar should find another house. Now, Mridu and Meena followed Ravi out. The beggar was already in the garden. So beggar already came in the garden, making himself quite at home. So he was making in the garden his home. He had spread his upper cloth under the neem tree. So what he did, he spread his cloth under the neem tree, and he was leaning against its trunk. So he was sitting there with the help of that tree trunk. So apparently prepared to take a little snooze while he waited for the arms to appear. And go away, said Ravi sternly, very strictly. Ravi said, just to leave the house, leave the garden. And Pati says it's time you found another house to beg from. So what Pati has said to Ravi, uh, same the Ravi also said this, that he should find another house to beg. So the beggar opened his eyes then, very wide, and gazed at each of the children one by one. So he was looking very carefully, uh, one by one, all the children and the ladies of this house. The ladies of this house, he said, the beggar said, the ladies of this house, at last, in a voice choked with feeling, are very kind souls. They are very kind souls, no? And I have kept my body and soul together on their generosity for a whole week. So I have kept the whole week, I have kept their generosity where in the in this house. So I cannot believe that they would turn me away. So he could not believe that Pati uh, and her mother wanted the beggar to leave the house. So they don't believe this, or the beggar don't believe this. So that these two women were saying. So he raised his voice, Amma, Amma. So again he was saying, he was calling Amma's Amma. Said his wail might be, but it certainly wasn't feeble. It began in a deep, strong rumble somewhere in his withered belly, and came booming out of his mouth, with its few remaining teeth, its tan brown with battle chewing. So he was saying, he used to uh, shout by saying Amma, Amma. He cried loudly. So he was calling them that while he opened his mouth, and he used to chew betel nut. Betel means that tamul, we can say. And he was showing teeth also. Ravi, tell him there is nothing left in the kitchen, called Rukumani. Rukumani, what she said? She said that just tell the beggar that there is nothing left in the kitchen, and he is not to come again. Tell him that. She sounded fed up. So from there, she also cried that just tell him there is nothing left in the kitchen, and tell him to find another house. Ravi didn't accept. Didn't Ravi didn't have to repeat it all to the beggar. So not to repeat what Rukumani has said to him, because her voice, the beggar clearly uh, hear. So what his mother said had been easily for them all to hear. There under that neem tree, the beggar sat up and sighed. So he was sitting there, and he took a sigh, like like. I will go, he said wearily. So now he was saying that okay, I will go. Only let me have a rest here under this tree. So only just no need to give me anything. I will go afterwards, but just give me some time. I will take a rest under this tree. The sun is so hot. The tar has melted on the road. Tar means that the upper part, uh, the upper part of the road. That we it is coated on the road. We can say in Alakatra, that is called the tar. And because of that hot sun, and the tar has melted. Melted means pigalna. On the road, my feet are already blister. Blister means like because of that tar, road. Uh, his feet blister, burning. His feet are burning. He stretched out his feet to show large pink peeling blister on the sole of his bare feet. So he was showing so how the road has burned his feet, and he was showing his feet to the children. I suppose he doesn't have the money to buy chappals, Midhu whispered to Meena. Meena was saying that sorry, Mridu, he was just whispering. She was saying to Meena and Ravi that I think he doesn't have money to buy the chappals. So have you got an old pair in the house somewhere? So whether the he has old pairs of chappals in the house, then if they had, then they can give these chappals to the beggar, so that his feet will not burn. I don't know, said Ravi. Mine are too small to fit his feet, or I had have given them to him, and his feet were larger than Mridu's and Mina's also. So he doesn't know, and his chappals are very small. Okay, his chappals are very small that it doesn't fit the beggar, and the others Mridu's and Mina's are also uh, very small. They The beggar was shaking out his upper cloth and tightening his dhoti, so he was preparing to leave the garden. He raised his eyes and looked fearfully at the road, so he was looking very fearfully, डरा हुआ जैसा, and he was looking where on the at the road, and there on the road gleaming in the afternoon heat because of the sun. No, the road was like it's burning. It was gleaming, shining. If he go there, then uh, his feet were definitely will burn. He needs something on his feet, Mina said, her big eyes feeling. It is not fair. It is not fair that we should just ask the beggar to leave the house, to leave the place, and he is not having the pair of sleepers also. He doesn't have that sleeper, so it is not fair that we should ask him to leave the house. So why don't we search somewhere a pair of slippers, and we should give it to him, Mina said, and she feels it, said Ravi. Ravi, what do you say? I am thinking about it, blubbering. It is not fair. Yes, it is not fair. It is not fair. Isn't going to happen. In 2 minutes, he will be frying his feet on the road. If he walks, then in 2 minutes only, he will fry uh, his feet on that road. What he needs is a pair of chappals. Only he need a pair of chappals. So where do we get them? Come, let's search the house. He pushed Mridu and Meena into the house. So they were searching a pair of chappals in the house. Okay, oh the children's. Just as she stepped into the veranda, Mridu's eyes fell on the old-looking chappal she had noticed when she arrived. Ravi, she whispered to him. Whose are those? So Mridu, before she entered the house, she noticed a pair of chappals, very old chappal was there, and her eyes just fell on that old looking chappals, and she called Ravi, and she was asking whose chappals are those. So Ravi turned and glanced at the shabby looking but sturdy old slippers. So he also looked at the chappals, and he could not tell whose the slippers are. These are just the right size, he said, picking them up. Mridu and Meena followed him nervously back into the garden. So they were taking the chappals, and they went into the garden. Here, said Ravi to the beggar, dropping the slippers in front of the old man. Wear these and don't come back. So these children were giving the old chappals, which were there on the uh, were on the door. So just on the entering uh, Then they were giving these slippers to the beggar and telling him that to leave the house by wearing the slipper and don't come again. And hurriedly, what the beggar did, the beggar, he was staring at the slippers, and he hurriedly quickly flung his towel over his shoulders, pushed his feet into them, and left, muttering a blessing to the children. Yes, he was giving a blessing to the children. God bless you, like that, And in a minute he had vanished around the corner of the street, so he left the place. The music master came out. Now the music master, who was teaching how to play the violin to Lali, right? So he came out of the house and took an unappreciative look at the three of them sitting quietly under the tree, playing marbles. The children were playing marble, and he was looking at them unappreciative look. So he was not happy with the children, no. Then he searched for his chappals in the veranda, so where he had put them. So Lali, he was calling Lali. He called after a few moments. She hurriedly up to him. Have you seen my chappals, my dear? I remember having kept them here. So the children already given music master's chappals to the beggar, and now music master is searching his chappals uh, in the veranda which he kept. Now he was asking Lali where his chappals are. So Ravi, Mridu, and Veena, they were silently watching Lali and the music master, that they were searching the sleepers in the every corner of the veranda. So he scurried around, looking over the railing and crouching near the flower pots to look between them. Brand new they were. I went all the way to Mount Road to buy them. He went on saying, they cost a whole month's fee, do you know? So he was saying that I went to do that place to buy these sleepers, and they were brand new, and it cost a whole month's fees. So all these things he was saying while searching these sleepers. So soon Lali went in to tell her mother. So they did not get the chappals, and Lali, she went to tell the mother. Rukumani appeared looking harassed with Pati following her, and Pati also, Rukumani, they came and they were also searching the chappals. Where could they be? कहाँ है वो चप्पल्स नो It's really quite upsetting to think someone might have stolen them. So many vendors come to the door, worried Pati. So Pati was saying that so many vendors means the persons who comes door to door to sell their things, and I think somebody have stolen. Rukumani caught sight of Ravi, Medu, and Meena sitting under the tree. Have you children? Have you seen the chapel's children? Rukumani said to the children. She began, and then seeing they were curiously quiet, and they were curiously quiet. Curiously means they were sitting quietly and just waiting what will happen. They were also excited, and a sharp went on more slowly, and seen anyone lurking around the veranda. A sharp V-shaped line had formed between her eyebrows. A sharp V-shaped line, no, between her eyebrows, it formed when she was saying, "Have you seen anyone coming on the veranda, around the veranda?" Another straight, tighter one appeared in place of her usually soft, pleasant mouth. Rukumani was very angry now, thought Mridu with a shiver. She wouldn't be so upset if she knew about the poor beggar who's with sores on his feet. She tried to tell herself. So, taking a deep breath, she cried, Rukumani, there was a beggar here. Poor thing. He had such boils on his foot. So, Mridu, he said to Rukumani that he she has given these chappals to whom? These chappals to the beggar, saying that he had such boils on his feet, and it is a very uh, unfair. If we did not give the slippers to him, he would probably what burn his feet. And Rukumani, and she became very angry. So she said, so what if he had uh, burned his feet? then why should you have given the slippers to the beggars? Said Rukumani grimly, turning to Ravi. And you gave the music master's chappals to that old beggar who turns up here. Children these days, grown Pati was saying, आजकल के बच्चे. And Amma, didn't you tell me about Karna, who gave away everything he had, even his gold earring? He was so kind and generous. So silly, snapped Rukumani. Karna didn't give away others people's things. So children's, so they were saying, um, Amma used to say about the Karna who used to give everything he had, even the gold earrings also. He was so kind and generous. So that's why he has also given uh, chappals to the beggar. And Rukumani, she said that Karna didn't give others people's things. Karna gave the things, no, gives the things that he had owned. No, he gives uh, he gives only his own, not others' things. She said, but my chappals wouldn't have fitted the beggars. And again, Ravi was saying that his chappals is not fitted to the beggar. Then how could I give my chappal to the beggar? It is not fitted him. And Amma, if they did fit, would you really have not minded? Then Ravi. And Rukumani was now very angry now. Go inside this minute. She hurriedly indoors and brought out Gopu Mama's hardly worn new chappals. This should fit you. Now Gopu Mama's chappals were there inside the house, and she brought and she has given these chappals to the uh, home, to the um, music master. Sir, please you put this on. I am very sorry. My son has been very naughty these days, and he has given your chappals to the beggar, and now you just try this once whether it will fit or not. So she has given the Gopu's mama's chappals to the music master. The music master's eyes light up, so he became very happy, light up. So he put them on, trying not to look too happy. So he was very happy, but he was just trying that not to look happy. Well, I suppose this will have to do. These days children have no respect for elders, so what to do? So he was also saying that these days the children, they don't have any respect for elders. We can't do anything now. A Hanuman incarnate, so this and that they were saying. Only Rama can save such a naughty fellow. Rukumani's eyes flashed. She didn't seem to like Ravi being called a monkey, even a holy monkey. So didn't she did not what want that somebody called him monkey, even a holy monkey also. So she stood stiff and straight by the front door. So it was clear she wanted him to leave quickly. So she wanted the music master to leave the house quickly, but she was not saying from her expression. So when he had clutched off in his new chapel, she said, Mridu, come in and have some tiffin. Honestly, how do you children think of such things? Thank God your Gopu Mama doesn't wear his chappals to work. So कैसे तुम बच्चे लोग नो ऐसा काम कर लेते हो, like that she was saying to the children. And she was just saying thank God now your Gopu Mama doesn't wear chappals to work. And if he used to walk the used to have used to wear that chappals while walking, then he should she should not she can't give, no, she could not be able to give the chappals to the music master, and it would be very big problem for her. Now she has given, now she is, that tension is over now. As she walked towards the kitchen with Mridu and Meena, she suddenly began to laugh. She was laughing. Something happened, no, because of the situation created by the children. But he is always in such a hurry to throw off his shoes and socks and get his chappals as soon as he comes out. So, but as soon as he comes home, Gopu Mama's, he wants the chappals because maybe he has been wearing shoes all the daytime. So as soon as he entered the house, he wants to wear the chapel. So now, what's your mama going to say this evening when he will not get the chapels? And when she will tell him that his chapels she has given to the music master, so what he will think then, what he will do then, what he will say then. So all about she was thinking, and she was laughing. So this is what the lesson, it is completed. Now today it became a very long video, so you please watch the video till the end, and after that we will do the exercise questions. Okay, some homework I will provide you, some questions you can do it at home. So today I stopped here. You take care of yourself at home, keep reading the books. Have a good day. Thank you very much.